New at 6 and only on 6. We have been hearing complaints and seeing the postings from passengers at Orlando International Airport about some of the longest lines they say they have ever seen. I saw them for myself. So tonight we are going to the top, asking what can you do to make sure spring break travel is less painful? What is the airport doing about it? And how much longer will this go on?
It can be rough these days. News 6's Eric Von Anken is live at OIA for us tonight. So Eric, you spoke with the airport's chief.
Exactly right, Matt. And you've probably heard this. The airport has been warning passengers to get here 3 hours before your flight leaves. But as we're seeing lately, especially in the early morning hours, that's not enough. So I asked the chief, what is enough? What can you do? And what is he doing?
There is no busier time of day at the Orlando International Airport than the early morning hours when passengers first flood the terminal to pack in all of the planes that were parked overnight. And there is no busier time of year than the spring break travel period, especially this year when the security lines appear endless to the point that some passengers are missing their flights.
So these people who say this is worse than it's ever been probably are right.
Right.
Well, I don't know that it's as worse than it's ever been. I know that you're seeing lines, and I know that there's a lot of video out there, and there's a lot of complaints on the lines. We constantly monitor that. We have staff that's out here working.
Tom Draper was OIA's acting CEO over the past couple of months. He's now airport chief of operations. He tells me last Saturday was OIA's 6th busiest day in the history of the airport. And the busiest day ever, he says, could come in the next few weeks, with spring break air travel peaking on April 9th. In fact, there are so many planes in the skies over OIA lately that passengers are getting this notification. Their flights are delayed because congested airspace over Florida is limiting the number of planes the FAA will allow to land each hour at MCO.
The problem is that the facility was never built to to accommodate the loads that passengers are putting through it. That's why we're trying to move to the south terminal as quickly as we can.
Until the new terminal opens later this year, at the old terminal, Draper says the airport is trying to get back to full staffing. TSA, though, is fully staffed, he says, and put workers alongside the lines to remind vacation travelers they're slowing themselves down when they don't empty their water bottles or their pockets.
Is what we're seeing here over the last few weeks and what we're going to see over the next few weeks compromising the Orlando experience?
I don't know if it's compromising the Orlando experience. You just have to realize all of the volume that's coming in now. It's spring break.
And Draper tells me another thing that the airport has done for you is partnered with this company, Clear. You've probably seen it at airports all over the place. What Orlando has done is set up a deal to where you can bypass this entire security line if you come back during your time that you made with a reservation. It's entirely free. You don't have to sign up for Clear. Again, go on their website. We put a link for you inside the story on clickorlando.com. Make your reservation. Like tomorrow, there's a whole bunch of times where you don't have to wait in any lines. They'll walk you to the front. Very few people are using it. Only 1,000 people used it last weekend when 85,000 passed through these lines. Live at the airport, Eric Von Anken getting results. News 6.
Eric, I noticed lines not only inside the airport, but the car line to get in and to drop off your luggage. That's an issue. So tell me this before I let you go. What if you get there early enough? You wait through the car line, you wait through the security line, and you're just not moving quickly enough. You realize you're going to miss that flight. What do you do?
Yeah, I know, Matt. I've been there. It's frustrating. Draper says, think about this. All these folks like this gentleman here, a lot of officials walking around, especially airport staff. He says, especially in the early morning hours, the reason they're there is because if you're pulling your hair out, they want you to stop some of those people. Approach them, explain the problem, and he says he promises they'll figure out some way to help you get you to your flight on time so you don't miss it.
Got to get there really early these days, too. Eric Von Anken, thank you.